Hello everyone, thanks to the power of the internet, I get to talk with you. And today I bring you something out of my comfort zone, Dragon Empire. However, since this deck is the GOAT, the original DOTE, I think people are sleeping on this because it is still a really, really good deck. And with Divine Z, you get a little bit more options. Not really, but let's just go over it. The Ride line, of course, is Bar. When it's Rode upon, Counterblast, search your deck for up to one grade 1, put it in your hand. You don't really want to use that. Bar, well, the Halama, however, if you ride it with an Overlord, call it a rear. That's free value. And if, have a Vanguard with Overlord in its name, Soul Blast 1 in this unit, and your Vanguard get 5k. Now, this is the end, because we're just skipping right ahead, because trust me, there's a lot you can do here. During your turn, if your soul has, Draconic Overlord, the drive cannot be increased, well, it can't be decreased, my bad, from card effects, including its own. And it gets power plus 5k. This, stacked with this, means this is just swinging 23k default. If you Persona Ride, that's 33. But if you decide to activate Nahalem, your soul is a very limited resource, and you'll see why. And of course, the original DOTE, feeling so good at the end of the battle. This attack, Counterblast 1, discard 2, stand this with drive -1. If you remember, if Draconic Overlord is in your soul, you don't have to do that. You just swing twice for drive 2. It's great. Of course, to accommodate the fact that it's not on the ride line, you run 2 of these. Now, how do you get this into Soul? It's your good old promo Ardor Hatchet Dragon. If your Soul has a card with Overlord in its card name, it gets shield 5k. So cool, but you're doing it for its other effect. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, retire this, choose a grade 3 with Overlord in your drop, and add it to Soul. This kind of is how you get more Soul. If you really want, you can run 3 Overlords to be more consistent. However, you don't want to see a hand that's just full of End and Overlord. That's kind of the only issue with this deck, which is why I say run 2, 3 if you're pushing it, 4 if you're incredibly unlucky like me, or just you want to guarantee. Alright, going over though, we have Brachioforce. When it hits, retire, draw a card, one of your opponent's rear guard gets retired. If you note, basically, most of this deck just says draw a card, because discard 2 means you have less shield value, even though you're getting it back with your drive check. Sometimes you just want to shuffle out and thin as much as you can. Going to Burning Horn, place on rear, Counterblast 1, look at the top 7 cards, basically search out your Persona Ride. Put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. If you did not find one, countercharge 1. So always use this. I know this is your only form of countercharging, and it focuses on you spending that, but hey, free Persona Ride, you want to end the game as early as possible. Which is why, hey, discard for Ride, draw a card, put it on the bottom. Simple as that. If you are feeling ever so risque, you can use its Counterblast 1. But hey, do you know what's a new mechanic that we all must use? Energy in Standard. Do you know what Overlord doesn't use? Energy. So yeah, 7 is pretty good to draw 1 card. However, if you guard with this, or discard it for Ride, that Energy 3 becomes an immediate draw 1, and you have that same thing where you can Energy Blast 3 to choose a grade 1 card without Sentinel from your back row and call it to your rear guard. So you get a supporter. I should say he retires a column. Now who else is pretty cool? Drag Hitter. When this card would be discarded from hand for the cost of your Vanguard's ability, it can count as 2 cards. Awesome. However, when this card is decoded from hand for the ability of Overlord, you may call it to a back row rear, and it gets 5k. Now think about this. You can do Halbay, support Overlord first swing, discard another one from hand, call over this one. You could also cut some things out of here. I don't know exactly what. Like I said, I'm not really a Dragon Empire guy, but you can support with anything for Dote, stand him, call Halbay over the rested to swing for another big-ass number. And, of course, because draw and shield value, we have 2 cats. The other thing is the Pope Chalice to get a Persona Ride, and Sanctitude, because that's just a staple PG at this point. Obviously, the trigger lineup is maximum criticals because you get Drive 4 basically for free, so you want to end the game as soon as possible. We're running fronts not only for shield value, but also because you have 2 rear guards too. So at any moment, your opponent's gonna just drop all their cards to keep Dote away from them. So hey, maybe put a critical on one of your rears, and oh no, it also got power while your opponent's trying to deal with Dote. Who would have guessed? So let's try to take this deck out for a spin. Obviously, my luck is still always abysmal. I want to keep Hatchet because Hatchet gets me my Overlord. And Burning Horn technically also gets me my Overlord, so I'll keep it with this. So I'll draw 3. Alright, not the worst thing in the world. Okay, so let's say I'm going first, draw my card. It's another Hatchet, so I'm just going to get rid of Hatchet for Ride. Because it's honestly fine. Opponent's turn, they'll hit me for 1. Cool, goodbye 1 Persona Ride. Alright, draw. Get rid of the cat. Life's getting a bit risky here. Ride deck. But now, Burning Horn, Counterblast, reveal the top, well, look at top 7. Ouch. Yep, shuffle the deck, countercharge 1. Swing, drive check. Oh, great. Over trigger. I mean, sure. So I get to draw 1 card, gets me a crit. I'll swing again, 100 million. Burning Horn, pretty good, but not what I'm looking for. Right, opponent's turn. I'm gonna say they deal me 3. Now 2 at the point because I got a critical. Stand and draw. I always try to be cool showing off a deck and always get punished by my own luck with my inability to be good at the game. Pope Chalice for Dote. We are still going to activate the Nahalem. At this point, I should have intercepted just so I could play it again. Oh well. I'm still gonna swing with. Actually, I'm gonna activate Nahalem. Just to show off a little bit. Alright, so obviously, this is not a situation we want to be in, but we'll have to make do. So we're going to swing with the end. Drive check. Critical, so obviously, I'm going to say they no-guarded. So bump. Second check. Drag hitter, pretty good. To hand, to hand. Activate the boy, counterblast, discard, drag hitter is going to call itself, and if you do, power +5, Stand Overlord, sadly it's drive -1, but hey, activate the effect. This gets power 500. Well, 5k. Swing Wind Nehalem, because if they got a crit trigger, you no longer can hit with Nehalem. If not, hey, pretty nice. Swing. This is a big number. This is like 41. I only get 1 drive. You would have been so helpful earlier in my life. He gets another power +5. And swing. And note, my opponent's still grade 2, and the end is not locked to your opponent's grade, which makes this really good, and the extra drive would have been nice. I'm just going to reveal what it is. Normally you wouldn't, but hey, it wouldn't have mattered. Top of deck, I'll just play this out, because hey, look, you Energy Blast 3, you're at 6 right now, so you draw a card, which we all know is him, not too bad. Intercept for attack. Hopefully I can live to see a Persona. Let's, stand and draw. Hopefully. Look, you got Overlord, which is hella awesome. So what we're going to do is play it, call over it, retire this to put him in Soul. We're going to call here. We're going to counterblast to look at top 7. See, at this point, this is just insult to injury. But we are going to take it anyway, because we got a PG, so it's just PG fodder at this point. And might as well get rid of my last remaining soul to once again power. And just showing this off. Hey, look, swing, drive 1, front trigger, awesome. So, and he gets 5k because I'm attacking with an Overlord. Cool. Both of these go to hand. Activate, Overlord, get rid of this. Call over. Power +5. Swing again. Hey, look, you get twin. Because Overlord's finally in your hand. This gets power. So yeah, honestly, the end of the day, this deck just got really more consistent because it now has access to energy. And honestly, as we've seen from Varga, getting, swinging multi times with a Vanguard is just awesome. And it's why we call restanding Vanguards, at least in Dragon Empire, like Dote Light, or at least I do. Because it's the OG, it's what it does. So as long as you can also cheat upon that power, you're not locked behind a divine skill. You're still locked behind the same thing Varga is with the Counterblast 1. So as long as you can keep your hand pretty functional and get Overlord in your soul as quickly as humanly possible, you're basically the stronger version. But that's up to debate. Tell me what you think. Yell at me for being incompetent with Dragon Empire. And if you made it this far, thank you.